Hey, everybody, welcome to the Wellness Wednesday. We do this every other Wednesday. This is where we have the opportunity we get to listen to this fantastic couple out of California that has this fantastic company that's been around for 16 years. That's literally changing people's lives. I can say that simply because for me, it's changed mine. It's took away some of the pain with their products that I don't have anymore because I use it every day and it's amazing. I'm not putting things in my stomach to upset my stomach. But one of the biggest reasons why I'm here in this company as we stand today, and the reason I'm so stoked about this company
You froze
alive
there for me.
because of what it's done for my mother. And before I bring Daniel on, I'm going to tell the story about my mom. My mom, she suffers from stage 4, the C word, and she literally has this medicine put in her port. It's not radiation or chemotherapy. It's called immunotherapy, and it's different kind of medicines. The good news is it's doing great. It's helping her tremendously. But they put this medicine in her, and it's a chemical, is what it is. And what it's doing to her skin is amazing. Amazingly bad. I mean, it is busting her skin out in blisters. I don't want to be too graphic, but in blisters, and her body itches constantly. It never stops. And it's so bad. She has literally taken her fingernails and scratched so much it's dug into her skin. And she'll probably have scars from it. It's that hard. And they couldn't do anything. They tried creams on her. They tried steroid creams, what I'm talking about. They tried steroid creams, they tried pills, they tried everything. They was like, well, unfortunately, you're taking really well to this chemical and it's really making a difference with your cancer and it's making a difference, but we can't really do anything about the itch and you're just gonna have to deal with it till it's over. She couldn't sit down, she couldn't sleep, she just in showers 3 or 4 times a day just to relieve the itching. And she had these creams from me about her elbow that happened prior. She just decided on her own that she was going to take the creams, which is the 10% niacinamide, along with the Trauma Max, and mix those together. And she started putting it on her shoulders because her shoulders were itching so bad. When she came back from a treatment on a Monday, she called me on a Wednesday and she said, how much would it cost if I wanted to order those creams? I said, Mom, tell me why. She told me the story. I said, you don't worry about them. In 2 days, it was gone. The blue was gone. And the itching stopped. Now, I'm not saying we're curing anything. That's not what I'm doing. Because we're not claiming to cure anything. But what we are saying, the body's a funny thing. If you give it what it needs, it finds a way to heal itself. It finds a way. And I don't know what's in those things. All I know is it works. It works for her. It stops the itching. She started putting it on the rest of her body because the worst place was her back, her buttocks area, and the backs of her legs. And she can't sit down. She couldn't sit down. I'll tell you today, as we sit here on the 19th of March, she's been using them for about 2.5 weeks. Folks, every blister has dried up. You can still see them, but they're dried up. And she no longer itches. So it gives me great pleasure to bring Mr. Daniel Lyons on here today. Daniel, you have the floor, sir.
Well, thank you for that. Gosh, that is when it's family and it's close to you, when you see the suffering and something that simple can really relieve that suffering, that pain. And, chronic pain is king. I mean, that just takes your life under control. And when you can have a solution to that, whether it's temporary, whether it's permanent, whether this is a process of some of the things that your body's looking for in order to relieve that inflammation, that is really the product that I wanted to create. I wanted to create something that was an evergreen product, something that was a go-to product that you could find relief. That's why NutriRelief was born. And thank you for that. Thank you for sharing, because that means a lot to me. It's also the the chance that they'll listen to you. I've got family members that, been making these creams for so long, and they wait until it's way too late before they go, hey, by the way, don't you make something like that? Yeah. And it's nice to see that, it's the process of opening the mind. Sometimes it's that, your wife telling you all the time what you should do, but then you hear from the third party, and it's like a brand new concept. And then you finally listen and go, hey, I think I'll try it. And then, fabulous. I'm really happy to hear about that. Great. And thank you, everyone, and Ron and Shane, both of you, as this forum for all of you to take advantage of, to look at the opportunities that we all have. I'm taking the opportunity to be with you, the opportunity to be able to share my products with you. But this forum is awesome because um, I had the privilege to listen to the March Madness webinar the other week, and wow, the replicated website and the tools that FSN is giving each and one of you, it's just amazing. It's really, really fabulous. And boy, it's scary, I guess, Ron, to you to see Shane get on, and he's always giving it away every moment he can. It's amazing.
It's amazing. I'm telling you, it is amazing. 100%. It is great.
It's really beautiful. So
yeah, we're like no other. We're not parallel to any other home business opportunity. We're not parallel to any kind of side hustle, as you call it. We are different. We are different. We're not the same.
Yeah. I really believe it. I really heard it, and I'm really proud to be associated with all of you. And that's why I want to make this effort on this Wellness Wednesday. At the top of it, what I am looking forward to doing, and I was hopeful that all of the folks that I'm seeing here, I think this forum here, which is on Wellness Wednesday, I'd really be interested in seeing, and I think I'd like to see more of it for all of you. This is the opportunity to invite somebody that you just talked about the product to. Say, hey, it's incredible. You may not believe me. Once again, maybe you needed to hear it from a third party, but invite them to the Wellness Wednesday, even if it's just a phone number, because I see the familiar faces, which is fabulous. But what's wonderful about this forum of bringing your own questions, if you're trying to recruit somebody and you just want to invite them to listen in or just see what we're talking about, that can be very dynamic in terms of building your team, in terms of building it.
That's an excellent point, Daniel. That's a fantastic point, because as you just stated, this webinar is absolutely free. You don't have to be part of Fund Saver Network. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to be a free member. It is amazing to come on here and listen to Daniel and his wife talk their products and how they come about and why they work and why they're special. So for those of you out there, if you want to introduce people, because there's a lot of people like me and some of you on here that wake up every morning and your body's hurting somewhere. Something's going on, right? So here's an opportunity that you can go, hey, just come to the webinar and listen to this guy talk. He knows everything about what he's talking about. And it's a different health and wellness product. It's not the same as all the others. So this is another avenue for you to bring people, let them know what they're having, because at the end, you have the ability to let that person sign up for free and go buy the cream or whatever it is Daniel's talking about that day, and they can get it at a wholesale price. So back to you, Daniel. I'm gonna let you get into it today, but yeah, please use this as a tool to build your team with.
Yeah, it's really important. It is free, and the key is you're talking to the formulator. I'm just not a representative of a company. I'm not just a guy who's shilling on the side here and hoping to convince people of anything. The key here is really to talk about the science of how these creams are formulated. What will these creams do? What is the unique delivery system that is appropriate for supplementation, and why? It's the why questions. Why do I even want to deal with this company? The benefits and the opportunities are amazing, but what are the product? What's the product line all about? In this forum here, fortunately, I have the foundation of basically being able to talk about the creams and all the benefits they have. And it's an opportunity for to ask questions about in what way can these creams effectively serve me or serve you. And that's the key to everything about this. So bring your folks on. It will help you articulate. Sometimes the science is baffling. Sometimes the presentation is just another presentation. Ron, you made that excellent point the first time we were talking about the creams. You said, oh boy, another topical cream. Well, I know it's not going to work. So yeah, go ahead. I'll listen to them. In fact, is what you even got the creams, and then you said whatever.
I still said it wasn't going to work, Daniel. And the reason I said it, because it looked beautiful in the bottle. I mean, it looked fantastic. But I opened it up and I put a little in my palm, and we always go kind of smell what it's like, right? And when I smelled it, what I noticed, I'm like, this is not going to work. You don't menthol. It's not going to do anything. So I put it on my shoulder because bowling rips my shoulder apart. I put it on my shoulder, and guys, in a minute, I wasn't hurting. It didn't cure anything, but it took the pain away. And then the next day I used it, and the next day I used it. Before you know it, every day, I don't have the pain anymore because I use it every day. So I was shocked. I was literally floored because I just thought it was another one of those things. We all know about those things, and it's not. Went from there to going, well, I'm one of those people that can't sleep, and I see this melatonin stuff, and I see it for sleep, and I see 2 other protocols that go with it. Let me get that. So I got that, and I sleep better now than I have in years. Years. So, but this is for me. I can't say for you. The only way you can say for you is you got to try the stuff.
And, usually I don't necessarily talk about FSN and how you guys are all basically promoting the products, but I was so impressed by March Madness and just seeing the tools that this company is giving all of you. It's just amazing. The replicated website, the product key sheets, the information associated with it, and then the benefits associated with these creams. So in this case, just articulating the simple thing is that introduction and a product. And as I said, pain is king. Chronic pain is just one of those things that we all suffer from it, or we know somebody that does. And it's just nagging, constant situation as we age that becomes part of a lifestyle. And the lead off to this whole line of clinical creams from NutriRelief that you're all representing is that you simply you can let the first cream, which is the pain cream, speak for the entire line. Speak for what you're trying to do. Speak for your way that you're going to convince anyone that you have something unique. So within minutes, by saying, hey, just try it. We're asking any person, do you have pain? Everybody's got pain of some kind. Offer them, a few pumps of this into the palm of the hand. Let them applicate it, and end of story. See if they don't have that response back to you. Go, wow, what else? But that tells them that this entire line, this is the delivery system. This is a unique aspect of liposomal delivery, using the skin as the point of administration for amino acid, vitamins, and minerals. And specifically, that chronic pain is generated from deficiencies in your body due to a lifetime of living under a stressful world that we all live in. All the different basis for chronic pain are based on stress, blood flow, and chronic diseases that have infiltrated our body through deficiency, through the digestive system, through the foods we've given our body, through toxins, through everything associated with living on this planet and breathing oxygen. It basically is going to be wearing, tearing our bodies. So today, specifically, I wanted to go to the root cause of a lot of that. And it's one of the creams that I really want to emphasize to this point specifically because it's one of the major ingredients in 2 of the creams. But I specifically want to talk about the NutriFlow Nitric Oxide Boost. This is one of the creams that I've had a webinar about. It's in kind of I call it paprika, the color here. but it's Nutriflow Max Nitric Oxide Boost. And the wonderful thing about this cream are the studies that are associated with it are fantastic. And the key is scientific proof. It's one thing for you to listen to me to tell you, how I came about this, why I put these ingredients in. But I think you guys have this, Ron. I don't know if you have this available, but these are 22 scientific reasons to use L-arginine. L-citrulline also is a vasodilator. But this goes into 22 reasons specifically, and I can go into 22, but I won't waste your time. But what I want to really talk to you about is this product key sheet has reasons that you would want to use the nitric oxide, but then the scientific proof associated, you can go and look at what that scientific study was about. But, nitric oxide is something that after the age of 25, we make less and less of. And so what's ending happening is the circulation of blood in our body and the inability to produce nitric oxide is the root cause of almost all of our chronic diseases. Specifically, this microcirculation, the ability for the blood to go and deliver nutrition throughout our body is compromised as our vessels we age. They get smaller, clogged, like a sewer system. Basically, it just gets clogged with whether it's cholesterol, whether it's calcium, or it's calcification of our arteries. And that's going to have a drastic effect in our entire vascular network. A leading cause of death, obviously, is vascular health, heart attacks, and the other aspect of dementia, Alzheimer's, and growing old is microcirculation to the brain. So the key here is that through using or generating the nitric oxide that we're not producing as we age, just a process of aging. It's not like, what's the direct cause of that? The cause is age. And so the unique aspect of this Nutriflow Max, again, is that it's comprised of L-arginine, L-citrulline. And L-arginine, L-citrulline is just an amino acid. There's no toxic level of it. It's an amino acid that the body naturally produces upon appropriate nutrition. But once again, one of the biggest ingredients or products would be watermelon. Watermelon, eat a lot of watermelon, but how much watermelon would you need to get or to eat in order to get a really good dose of L-arginine, L-citrulline? But the idea of supplementation. Now, there are other products that are out there. Maybe many of you take them, and you might take them through the oral route, where you might be taking L-arginine, L-citrulline through the digestive system. But that is what NutriRelief is all about. We're utilizing the skin in lieu of the digestive system because, once again, chronic disease has rendered many people's digestive systems ineffective. Your ability to absorb through your gut has been compromised due to leaky bowel syndrome, chronic irritable bowel system, just inflammation of the gut generally. And that's basically because our liver is just definitely cannot take the American diet in the way that we're used to digesting food. That could be the result of lack of enzymes, lack of hydrochloric acid to break down our foods. But most of the time, it's just the food sources themselves and the nutritional content that's in that food that's not giving our bodies what it needs. So hence, the creation of NutriRelief was I suffered from metabolic syndrome due to an early operation I had and the inability of being able to digest food properly. But I'm not alone. Most people, the majority of the population in the United States, has some inflammation of the gut. And it's typically due to the inability to digest properly. So the whole industry of supplementation is pretty much based on pills, based on oral supplementation. And so if you're ineffectively absorbing what the supplements that you're taking, you're literally just throwing away that action with the hope that you will be getting the absorption. And that's pretty much where NutriRelief, our tagline is, you are what you absorb. So if you're not absorbing through your digestive system, then what's the alternative? Well, the skin turns out to have an incredible opportunity to absorb directly. And the reason that is because of liposomal delivery technology. That is a registered trademark that I have put onto my creams and registered, which is the liposomal delivery technology, using the liposome, which you could consider the same word synonymous with transdermal, allows that these topical creams, all of them that I supply to the FSN network, are liposomal base system. So it's a a proprietary delivery technology that's only available through this cream, liposomal delivery technology, to use any part of your body as a point to absorb nutrition. And I say nutrition because most of my creams are just basically vitamin, minerals, and amino acids. We do deal with some hormones and melatonin. D3 is kind of a hormone too, and progesterone and estradiol and estradiol in our feminine wellness products. But what's really key is how that happens. Someone may say, well, I still don't understand that. But the understanding is, that's a situation that you can realize you're exposed to in even taking a shower these days. The chlorine in the water or the environmental toxins that you're exposed to just at a jacuzzi or a shower are absorbed through the skin. Typically, most people think, well, no, it's a barrier. It's protecting our body and our organs from any environmental pathogen that possibly could get there, but it actually is absorbable. But it's increased by the delivery system because the liposome that I've created actually is from a phospholipid. The nature of it is plant-based. It's from sunflower plant lecithin, which is something you'll see in the ingredient line. You'll go, where's that liposome that Daniel's talking about? It's named as in lecithin, which is a derivative of the sunflower plant. So it's a plant-based ingredient. But what that creates is a phospholipid shell, which is microscopic. Under a microscope, you could see it, which is how I blend my creams together. And that phospholipid shell that is encased all of the bioactives in the cream is something what's so unique is all of our skin cells, every one of our blood cell is also surrounded by a phospholipid. So in this concept of understanding simply what is the mechanism that makes these creams so unique is my creams essentially have the bioactives encased in a phospholipid. And when they meet your skin and you're massaging them into your hand, it's a phospholipid skin cell meeting the phospholipid with bioactives. And you have a literal handshake and the body is recognizing it as a friendly substance like, hello, brother. Welcome to my circulatory system. And so these creams are released, the bioactives, directly into a metabolic system through the skin. They are absorbing the benefits of L-arginine, L-citrulline, pain release, glutathione, and all of my creams as nutrition supplementation. Any part of your body, your face, your hands, your arms, can be utilized to absorb pretty close up to 99% of the bioactives in that. Kind of a curious side note would be if you compared that to an oral application, you're taking 100 milligrams of vitamin C orally, and now it's got to go through the digestive process of hydrochloric acids and the digestive process. You're lucky if you get 20% of 100 milligrams. So really, what's the point? You're taking 100 milligrams to get a fraction of that in terms of supplementation. Why not take much less, a physiological dose of what we have in our creams, and get almost 100% of that into your circulatory system? So the benefits are wonderful. My line, the entire line itself, is a clinical line that many doctor practitioners utilize for this very reason. This is really wonderful rather than, specifically when you ask your doctor about nutrition or he says you need to lose a little weight. The key is allopathic doctors. I love working with them along with naturopaths, along with functional doctors, because they all serve a really important purpose. They're trying to create a baseline for you as the patient to understand where you stand. And the key to everything when you go to a doctor is Where am I at? And where am I deficient? Doc, what's going wrong with me? And if as with Google and everything, we're much more knowledgeable now than we ever were before in terms of going, hey, doc, I think I've got this problem. What's going on? But the baseline is going to be a blood test. It's going to take that blood test, and you're hopeful that when he looks at your blood test, he's going to go, hey, you're deficient magnesium, you're deficient in B12, you're deficient in D3. And only through gentle supplementation can you then regulate these deficiencies, which is the key to optimal health. Rather than just prescribing something for blood pressure or a statin to lose weight, the idea of the conversation with nutrition with an allopathic doctor is going to be that's where their weaknesses are. They don't have much education in terms of understanding nutrition. It's based on prescription. You got a problem, I can give you a prescription. Where your naturopathic doctors or your functional doctors are all focused on exactly what we're talking about with this line: nutrition, B12, D3, nitric oxide, circulation of the body, heart health, brain health. And how are you going to get there? You're either going to get it through nutritional values, through digestion, or this is the breakthrough. This is the revolution that we have with NutriRelief for 16 years, the 16-year-old revolution. And what's curious is that you may see, if you went onto Amazon, you could see, oh, liposomal vitamin C. Well, they're using liposomes in a completely different way from how NutriRelief is using them. We're using it to protect a vitamin C through the oral route. So you'll say, oh, I've seen that. Well, it's not the same. Liposomal vitamin C is a oral product that you're going to, drink or take in a teaspoon. And they're using a liposome, completely different form of a liposome, because there's many liposomes, to protect the vitamin C as it goes down through your digestive system, with the hope that, down in the lower intestine through the whole transit time, that this thing is now exposed once again to the bile acid, hydrochloric acid, that now the digestive system is going to absorb that vitamin C. Potentially, yes, but every single person has a different digestive system. If we all had 3 apples here and Clyde ate the same apple and I ate the apple and Ron ate the apple, all of us would digest an apple at different times, and some might not even digest it at all. You might look around and see it's in the toilet. It's similar to like crude broccoli. Those of you that have not been able to digest vegetables or even I've heard people tell supplements or, they see at the bottom of the toilet bowl. But regardless of that, that's really what the key is. This unique system of using the skin as the point of administration is so beneficial, so simple, so easy. And it's something that what is really the biggest hurdle of all is just a protocol. When do I use these creams? How do I use these creams? And, setting up a situation for all the benefits that they offer, whether it's sleep, whether it's stress at night, whether it's my blood pressure issues I want to bring down, whether it's a digestive or detoxification, whether it's neuropathy, or whether it's sexual function. That's the beauty. So going back to the nitric oxide boost again with the NutriRelief, get it right again. This product is combined L-arginine and L-citrulline, which won a award for the discovery of that these 2 amino acids, a Nobel Prize in medicine, specifically for the fact that it generates nitric oxide. And L-arginine and L-citrulline are 2 amino acids. But in the benefits of this, and I told you the 22 reasons to use L-arginine, is that all of these studies are associated with what it does. And in the process of what is the function of this amino acid, it is called a vasodilator. So in the process of applying this to your skin, your feet, or whatever, it actually opens up and relaxes your blood vessels and releases a gas called nitric oxide. And in that process, it makes your vessels very pliable and specifically, all of our blood vessels throughout our body, from the top of our head down the bottom of our feet, are based on like valves that open and close. As every time your heart pumps blood, and it pumps it from your heart into your bloodstream, you have these valves opening and closing. This is what pushes the blood throughout your body and circulatory system. It's also the thing that tells you high blood pressure or low blood pressure. Either they're working effectively or they're not working at all, and you've got high blood pressure. And so, consequently, this L-arginine and L-citrulline relaxes and increases blood flow throughout your body. The results of that is cardiac, beautiful cardiac health, heart health, and wonderful flow throughout the body. Same for your lower extremities with neuropathy. Diabetic neuropathy is the function of the inability for the blood flow to get all the way to the bottom of your feet and then return back to the heart and the lungs to be refreshed with oxygen and clean blood flow. So if you're not getting that blood flow back up because these valves are not pushing the blood back up, what are you going to have? You're going to have neuropathy. You're going to have swollen ankles. You could have ulcerations associated with that. And then the damage, lung damage, is nerve damage that's associated with that. But this is rectified very quickly and easily by using the nitric oxide boost, specifically to the feet in this case. But now, once again, this is specific oriented towards blood flow. It's also wonderful in the formulation that it also has niacinamide in it and emollients. So it's wonderful for moisturizing. For example, as I age, we all get, for example, bruises. We used to call them liver spots, or I think they still call them liver spots, where you'll bruise your arm or your hand and you'll have spots all over your arm. This is wonderful because as we get older, hydration is a big issue, but it's the idea is our skin gets thinner from lack of hydration. But what you want to do is the nitric oxide also brings moisture and blood flow to all those capillaries, which increases almost everything associated with the production of collagen and the membrane of your skin to be healthier. So almost any part of your body, but specifically your feet in the case of lack of circulation or lack of mobility, when you find that you wake up in the morning, you get a little tingling in your feet, or you find out that as we get older, that lack of sensation in your feet. Clyde was talking about that earlier before the show, that he's found that when he uses some of our products through the feet, that he feels like he's floating, which is a wonderful sense of well-being because, one of our lower extremities, our hands and our lower feet, when you have diabetic neuropathy or any lack of circulation, those are usually the first places, or cold hands or cold feet, or that's telling you that you're having a circulation issue. And the key is to basically have beautiful blood flow through all of your extremities. And this is once again another aspect to the product, is it offers that. If you have pain associated with that or in extremities at that, then we've got another issue. You've got now could be some nerve damage associated with it. And that's where the other product that also has L-arginine and L-citrulline in it is the Trauma Max. That is the cream we're talking about, which is so effective, but that has arnica and boswellia in it as beautiful natural pain relief. So it's got the combination of nitric oxide, blood flow, increasing blood flow, plus pain relievers in it. So once again, these are the functions of these creams. This is why, doctors that are interested in terms of functional medicine or naturopathic doctors really enjoy these creams because they're simple, they're non-toxic, they're not habit forming. The only habit forming that's going to be coming from them is you just can't want to keep using them because they relieve pain, they work for you, and they are really essentially helping your body get back to the point of where the body wants to heal itself. The simple premise, and I'll just close with this, because we can go into some Q&A, and is that the body really does want to heal itself. The body really wants to get the nutrition, the basic elements of vitamins and minerals and amino acids that were the beginning of life on this planet. You know, when they go into other planets, they're looking for amino acids, they're looking for water, and they're looking for minerals. And the key is with that, their idea is we might find life. Well, we've already got it here on the planet. That's where we came from. But what's happening is we're deficient. And if you can get your basic blood test from any doctor you go to, you'll ask for those deficiencies. And simply by supplementing just the physiological dose, not the mega dosing orally of 100 or 500 milligrams, just enough to get you to the point of what the body's saying, I need today, I want today. And the body will balance, it'll find an equilibrium and it will heal itself. So that's really kind of the message that we're talking about here and trying to simplify what is NutriRelief all about? Why do these creams function? And the whole array of the creams are something we can talk about in all of these Wellness Wednesdays. Each individual cream has a function, why I put it together, why did I formulate these cofactors associated with them because they work together. And once again, the delivery system so effective to make the supplementation be effective for you because you are what you absorb through your skin is very beneficial as opposed to an inefficient digestive system because of chronic inflammation and the microbiome, antibiotics, and everything that has just really taken its toll on our ability to really absorb through the gut. So that's about what I've got to say today.
So I have a question, Dan.
Sure.
What is it about Daniel and Kesia Lyons that 16 years ago made you so passionate that you wanted to formulate creams to help people in this way? What was your driving factor?
Yeah, that's a great question because the origin is an incredible story. So I had been in a whole nother life before that time. I had just come back from almost 9 years living in Australia and New Zealand. And in the process, I was involved in many different companies there. But as a chemical process engineer, I was involved in many different companies. I was working for a Japanese company at that time called Komatsu. It was working in the mining industry. My project management background has taken me in so many different ways in chemical processes and what I did. But anyway, I'd been gone for many years, and I had my mother who was aging at the time, and I was the only free agent of my family. I've got 5 brothers and a sister, and they were going, "You got to come back. Your mom's gonna slip on an ice cube, and you better come back and spend some more time with your mom. We're missing you, and come back." So I'd finished a contract up, and I'd come back 16 years ago, and a little more now, and seeing my mom. I'm a church going guy. I was going with my mom to Sacred Heart and I loved going to church with my mom and hanging out and worship with her. But then I wanted to get into fellowship. And in fellowship, I was involved with who was all there, but filled with aging doctors that had 50 years of experience, 40 years as thoracic surgeons or brain surgeons or heart surgeons. And upon meeting me and my background of chemical process engineering and in my interest in it, they were saying, boy, we could really use a guy like you to help us because they just were thinking, I want to create this product and that product. And there were all these guys that wanted to create a new product for health, but they really didn't know what specifically, but they thought I'd be the guy to help them. Well, I created NutriRelief because at that time I was looking at what was going on with bioidentical hormones and seeing what was going on with women's health at that time. Well, I formulated NutriRelief and I had 15 doctors on the board of directors. But most of these guys, they were mostly looking for a board of directors fee rather than they were really contributing to the company. And a lot of their ideas were kind of quackery, to be honest with you, like kitchen sink, like every amino acid and every vitamin into some liquid form or a nasal aspect that could be giving nutrition, but they were bypassing the main idea was that the oral route. And what I saw at that time was Yeah, great ideas, but all of them didn't really have a delivery system that was anything unique. It was in compound pharmacists that I saw that I'd created friends with also through fellowship that I saw the reason that topical creams, or at that time liposomal creams, were delivering to women progesterone, estrogen, and hormones through the skin. And I thought, well, there's got to be a better way. And that was at the time I thought I can make a better way. Through my background, I can formulate a better delivery cream. I thought at the time it was going to be like Cold Stone ice cream. I could create like one base and you could just fold everything into it and voila. But it's much more of an art form of pH regulation and emollients and stabilizers to make really a cream that essentially is so beautiful that's taken this long to perfect. And that's kind of why it's interesting. I don't have that much competition in the overall market because it's a bit of an art form. It's, utilize finding a lab that correctly can take a formulation and correctly make it. But that was the genesis. It was a board of doctors. Now I still have a fantastic scientific board
Mhm.
of beautiful. I surround myself with much smarter people than I am, but environmental doctors, gynecologists, veterinarian doctors. And that's another topic we can get into another day. But I recently, from the interest in your animals, utilizing these topical creams, veterinarians love the topical creams specifically for their little animals. It's another topic we can talk about. But that was the genesis of Nutrirelief, born that time through a doctor-based foundation and with the idea of finding a better way for supplementation.
Okay. Okay. So I saw on the website, and you kind of explained this, but I saw on the website you have a chart, and the chart talks about different ways of deliverability to get
Yeah.
things into your body.
Yeah.
And I saw on there that the injection, let's say you want to go get a vitamin B12 shot or whatever, and you get injected, that's maxed out at 80% deliverability into the bloodstream.
Yeah.
And it said 100% deliverability is these creams. Can you explain the difference why? I
Yeah.
think
So
you have kind of already.
yeah, well, what's interesting when you take an IV specifically and it's getting directly into the bloodstream. I mean, most IVs they're clearing out in 45 minutes or less. This the bioactivity of that in its circulation through the body is very quick, and then it's excreted. And the unique aspect of taking it through the cream is it's metabolizing in the capillaries and the skin, in the fatty tissue, all throughout the epidermis. So the process is slower, but then again, the effectiveness is targeted towards the musculature and the circulatory system. So it's just the rapid evacuation of if you're injecting directly into the bloodstream. I don't think people really realize it. For your thyroid, for example, every drop of our blood goes through your thyroid in 7 minutes. It's just circulating throughout your body. And so it's free form circulating, but the key is the absorptive factor of what effect is it doing. And then just in the solution of what it is, it's got other, in that IV, it's not just, say, B12. It's got other ingredients in it that are utilized in order to make it an aqueous form. So the actual ability for absorption, even it's in your bloodstream, is being circulated very quickly throughout your body. The liposomal delivery, or in this case, through the skin, is a slower process. And I'm so thrilled that that is what is unique about when you see the effects of the Trauma Max. It's targeted. So rather than just assume some blood vein is going to basically direct that bioactive to the specific location you're looking for, you can target pain in this case. You can target neuropathy. You can target that. And so it has many other benefits. But once again, that just happens to be for injectables. It just passes through your system very quick, very effective, very quickly, but then it leaves your body and is disseminated very quickly and doesn't necessarily target a specific pain location.
Gotcha. Now, I don't see a lot of questions, but I do see one. Jane, she asked about the Flow Max that you're speaking about today.
Nutriflow matches.
Yeah, can that be mixed with the Trauma Max as well together and used?
Well, it can, but it's the same thing. So, once again, simple formulations then create more complex formulations. This is actually a really unique cream in that when I first made this cream, it was the first cream I made. The other cream was the melatonin night cream. And so originally I was thinking, oh, I'm going to make a cream for women that, talking about the melatonin night cream, that all women would use. And they would give up their L'Oreal, their Shiseido, and they'd buy one cream that would do it all. Well, that was a fool's errand, because, I don't think any women would, or any woman would want just one cream. You have a protocol, you love what you do, but it was a very effective cream. I wanted to create a complementary cream for a day cream. This was a cream that would be a moisturizing cream specifically for women again. So the night cream was oriented towards women that had anti-aging ingredients plus the molecule of melatonin, which is so beneficial for skin formation. My day cream was a vasodilator cream to basically take all the blemishes, all the unevenness in women's facial aspect to Malaysia and the unevenness of the pregnancy mask, for example, the unevenness, but it also clears up blemishes and it evens out the face. Also, the um,
Mm.
dark skin under the eyes. That's thin skin where the pool the blood is pooling. So by using the nitric oxide in the Nutriflow Max on your face as a moisturizer, daytime moisturizer, is very effective. So it was basically a cosmeceutical cream. Later, many people are using it for vasodilation, for sexual function, and for neuropathy. And most popularity of it, it became a functional cream for lack of circulation.
Mm.
The other aspect became, Daniel, how about pain? Do you have a pain cream? So we added to the nitric oxide arnica and boswellia. So the question being, can I blend it? You would then be just double downing on nitric oxide with the pain reliever. The nitric oxide inside, this probably has the most L-arginine and L-citrulline of all the creams. It's a pure vasodilator, heart health, sexual function, and dermatologically speaking, can really help with evening out skin tone entirely. It's so beneficial for that too. But then by just taking the charm, now putting them two together, surely you can, but you're really doubling down with more nitric oxide than I just seem is necessary. If you want more, just add more of the Trauma Max or add more of the nitric oxide. You certainly can't do any harm, but you are double downing with nitric oxide. No toxic effect of that, but and the only thing I'll say about that is you'll hear some doctors, once again, these are allopathic doctors, that don't want people to increase blood flow, which is an oxymoron, to be honest with you, because someone might be on statins or they might have a stents in their heart. And also, it's kind of funny, they don't want you to have K vitamin for this. Once again, this is the beauty of the studies when you look at it. The effects of this are they wouldn't have this problem in the first place if they had good blood flow. So what you have is a deterioration of the heart is due to calcification. It's due to the cholesterol that's getting stuck in those arteries that aren't pliable. So hardening of the artery, osteoporosis. This is where your blood vessels, your arteries are no longer pliable. They're no longer pushing and they're hardening and they're turning into the sewer systems that are getting smaller and smaller because of cholesterol and calcification. So if you work on the nitric oxide, that is going to be the number one effect towards prohibiting chronic disease of lack of circulation. And like I said, the root cause of most chronic diseases is lack of blood circulation in the body.
Yeah.
It's our mainstream. It's our main line to health.
Wow. So one quick thing I want to add. First of all, say hello to the box that says FSN, Daniel. That's Miss Shelley. Miss Shelley is here during the day. She is attending with us today. The second thing I want to say is this. You mentioned melatonin, and I don't want to get into another cream because we're up against the top of the hour, but your wife has, and then you had mentioned as well that you have, or she has, coined melatonin as facelift in a.
Yeah. Because of one of the ingredients in it. I mean, so melatonin is a wonderful molecule specifically for, I'll keep it brief, for skin in itself, and that it's a molecule that promotes new skin growth molecule in the fibroblasts, okay? And the benefits that it's a free radical scavenger. But we put 4 additional anti-aging ingredients in it: niacinamide, alpha lipoic acid, MSM, which is, many people are familiar with that, and DMAE, which is another acronym for an ingredient that increases fibroblasts, promotes new skin. So the whole idea that the whole advertising industry right now of the cosmeceutical industry is beauty from within.
Mm-hmm.
So take oral products to create new beautiful skin. Well, my attitude is take it through your skin at the location where you want that beautiful skin by offering the nutrition for the new skin fibroblasts. The new skin that's being created has the nutrition beneath your old skin. And that's really the beauty of creating new skin. Yeah, beauty from within when you're giving the location of where your skin is. And the DMAE, which is a unique ingredient, is nicknamed facelift in the bottle for its ability to create tightening of the skin, specifically around the neck, and to increase collagen production in terms of new fibroblasts, which are basically creating new skin cells. So, what happens as we get age is all of this musculature, which is holding our face together, the lack of collagen as aging, is just a function of the nutrition of the collagen and the new skin that's being created. And we're depending on oral supplementation, the ingredients that we eat, to really be effective. That's why, the study, a lot of people doing the collagen orally, it's if you can't really absorb it, if you're really your digestive, so the collagen that you're taking is really, those powders associated with it is not really doing what necessary. Where in ours, we can target those locations of increasing new skin growth. So DMAE, nicknamed Facebook in a bottle, facelift in a bottle.
Okay, so quick, just give me the name of the cream. There's a lady here asking, Millie's asking, best product for rheumatoid arthritis. Which one?
Trauma Max for sure. Trauma Max
Okay.
for sure. Once again, pain relief, vasodilation. But I tell you, people just can't get enough of this exceptional 10% niacinamide. And this is a B vitamin, skin, hair, and nails, but it's doing just something incredible with relief, getting relief through this B vitamin to the ligaments in arthritic affliction. So the combo, the 1-2 punch, is just amazing of the 10% niacinamide together with the Trauma Max. If you've got arthritic pain. So, but if not, I mean, it still is effective, but you could mix if you don't have arthritic pain, but you do, like my mother-in-law always tells me, I mean, her hands are like this. And I go, are you painful? Are you painful? She says, no, I'm fine. I said, okay, but for arthritis, 10% niacinamide and the Nutriflow Max would be sufficient. But hey, a pain relief is fabulous when you need it. Pain relief, absolutely.
And neuropathy pain, that's going to be the Nutriflow that we talked about today.
Nutriflow works good just for general neuropathy and vascular health. I mean, taking just Nutriflow for vascular, heart health, erectile dysfunction, sexual health, even for women, this blood flow increases everything in terms of exercise, in terms of weight management. When you've got excess blood flow going through, you're going to have more energy, you're going to want to exercise, you're going to wake up refreshed. But if you have pain associated with that, take the Trauma Max.
Okay, and the last one, it sounds like to me it's going to be a bone-on-bone situation. Knee pain, considering replacement surgery.
Yeah, so there is where bone on bone, a lot of people having this. I got brother, sisters, double knee replacement, double hip replacements. I mean, they could have prevented that a long time ago with better circulation and just the breakdown of the collagen, the cartilage in between those locations. So I've got a lot of people that approach me on that. What have you got? The 10% niacinamide protects existing cartilage between the joints, whether it's the back, whether it's the knees. It protects the existing. A lot of people say because there's no blood flow directly to the cartilage we're born with, that's what you get. And if it deteriorates, you can't grow it back. But the 10% niacinamide creates like a collagen veneer on a bone on bone. So, people that have bone on bone, try the 10% niacinamide and it promotes ligament growth. We talked about that with Ron. When you destroy ligaments, there's really no real healing to that other than physical therapy to regrow a ligament. The 10% niacinamide will increase fibroblasts for ligament growth. So if you've got a bone on a hip, increase the strength of your ligaments to create ligament growth. It also creates that veneer between a bone on bone, and you'll see relief from that. It's not like overnight, but it will happen within days. I've got people that are immobile because of a hip, bone on bone, or a knee, and they'll put that 10% niacinamide and they become mobile within a short amount of time. And it's protecting the existing cartilage, promoting ligament stability and growth to that area, and creating this veneer of fibroblasts at the location of bone on bone, and
Okay.
and assisting the fascia that's
Yeah.
accelerated with the pain.
And the very last question. This will be the last one, guys. When it comes to about the GABA L-theanine, what's the best location to apply and why?
GABA L-theanine is just so wonderful. I mean, for me, just every day, and this is a stressful life we're living in. Now, I think more than ever, okay? It is just rugged right now in terms of everyone's concern about the future. The GABA L-theanine functions so well anywhere on your body, but specifically for stress. It helps in terms of the neurons in their function to be effective in the process of thinking and cognition, but it calms the excitement of the brain in terms of its overactivity, which stimulates stress, anxiety. A lot of people that are on Xanax, I've really got a lot of folks that are trying to get off of these psychotic drugs for calming them down. The GABA L-theanine works so well. Gamma abbutic acid is another amino acid together with L-theanine, which is a derivative of green tea, is this calming aspect. You can use it literally anywhere. You can put it on your temple. You could put it on the back of your neck if you're concerned about brain function. I use it just on my wrist in the morning and at night. It helps me at night for the monkey mind when I wake up in the middle of the night and I've got active mind, and that will trump sleep. I mean, even if you've got melatonin, if you wake up in the middle of the night, go to the bathroom, and you come back, you start thinking of your day ahead of you, taxes, problems, stress. It's going to be difficult to get back to sleep. The GABA L-theanine just sets the mode of where it just keeps things kind of even keel, and you can get back to sleep. But also for I've had really tremendous effect for children on the autistic spectrum. I think I sent out that video of little Bella that was so agitating the class. She put that, her mom put that just on her wrist, and she was thrilled that she was now getting better grades, behaving better. And it's not, this is not a drug. This is something that just gives her a little sense of her own person rather than this excitement. And that's typical of the autistic spectrum. It's the overexcitement of the brain, which creates this cascade of emotions. So it's been very effective for my families with children and adults on the autistic spectrum, post-traumatic stress.
Yeah, I use it at night along with the melatonin, which relaxes my brain so I can sleep. I did leave one out. I'm sorry. There was a question. Do you have any recommendation for trimmers?
Well, that kind of typically that's coming from, once again, it's going to be brain functions that's making that signal. I would go GABA L-theanine. I have a out here. This is Palm Desert. I call it Parkinson's City. I mean, this is where they all come, and they're at Eisenhower, and they're all trying to get under these pharmaceutical solutions, and they're not working. And I also consult with the whole organization because this is an alternate for the families that are looking so desperately for help with their loved ones. And they're finding the GABA L-theanine is really functional for that signal. And it's a lack of the microcirculation. So once again, the root cause, lack of circulation to the brain, can create the tau and the protein amyloids that are creating early dementia, also Parkinson's. But if you get that beautiful circulation, adding GABA L-theanine can stop the excitement and can stop that whole cascading of the progression of dementia and a result to Parkinson's. And I've got so many families that have utilized this, and it's been very beneficial. The tremors would be associated with that because that's signaling to the brain. That's a brain signal. You know, that's what happens with a stroke. The 12 is very effective for that. You know, going to another side, not too many, but a lot of people that prohibit the strokes by the B12. B12 as a B vitamin, it oxygenates the blood, which also helps for stroke victims not to suffer from damage. If you can get the oxygen increased in the blood flow to the brain, pre-stroke and post-stroke, you can stop the damage where the brain is not signaling the arms or that's why you've got people that lose mobility because of a stroke. It's the lack of oxygen that got to the brain at a stroke. So the B12 is effective for oxygenating the blood, new red blood cells, healthy brain, healthy circulatory system, GABA L-theanine.
That is fantastic. Listen, we ran over 4 minutes, and I appreciate you hanging out doing this for us. I really do. I mean, folks, let me ask you a question. Most of you come from the same arena that we all come from. It's that MLM network marketing thing. Most of you have been involved in health and wellness companies before. Have you ever belonged to one that you have this kind of ability with the formulator, not the company that sells it? They are that as well. But with the formulator where you have the ability to ask these questions. Not only that, when you receive these tubes that are sent to you, their phone number is on the tube. And a lot of you are calling and you're talking to this man on the phone. These kind of things don't happen in these industries. They don't. And normally the reason they don't, because they don't want to talk to you because they got this stuff being made in some big warehouse somewhere and they're putting their label on it and go, look what we have. That's normally what happens, and they don't want to talk to you. That is not what's happening here. You're not going to see Daniel and his wife Kesia spitting out a new cream every month because it just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It goes through formulation. It goes through a long period of time before they can even make a cream. Now, all of you are here today. If you're a member, please remember, if you don't know this, in your dashboard, you have your own replicated link of the cream website that you can literally share with other people. And they can go through there and buy the cream that they want. And when they purchase that cream, they fill out the information, they buy the cream, that starts their 7 days free. It's that simple. This kind of information is so, so powerful. And after my 35 years of being in this industry and seeing a lot of health and wellness companies that, and I'm not saying nothing bad, that literally never did anything for me, that was my thinking going, oh, another one of those things. Was I totally surprised? Totally surprised. And this is why I enjoy this call every other Wednesday, because it helps each and every one of you. And it gives you a feeling that this is different. This is nothing I've experienced before. And what I want to tell you is every person that's even tried these creams that's been associated with me, 100% of them has come back and gave me nothing but positive on what happened. 100%. That is different for me. Totally different. I've been in companies where people in a health and wellness product, and they won't tell anybody that they're not taking it because they can't stand it. They won't tell anybody that they're not drinking the shake because it upsets their stomach. They won't tell anybody that they're not taking it because it gives them diarrhea, because they're making money with the company. And they don't want to do anything to compromise their check. I don't want to be in that position anymore. And that's not where we are. We have a fantastic partnership with Daniel and his wife with Nutri-Relief, and I truly can't thank them enough for what they do. I really can't. So there's Miss Shelley on camera. Daniel, you can say hello. Miss Shelley can unmute. She can say hello. There you guys are. I can't thank Shelley enough, Daniel enough, your wife, Alicia, but more importantly, I can't thank all of you enough for showing up every day, asking your questions, wanting to know more. Because I'm telling you, the more of these creams we get in more people's hands inside their households and what they're truly doing to people, your business is going to grow. Daniel's business is going to grow. Fun Saver is going to grow. But more importantly, we're going to truly be helping people feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's about. Hi, Shelley.
Hi. I would like to add, if everybody doesn't know, in the media section of your back office, we've got the application protocols and the pages for each of the creams. So you can download those PDFs and print them off if you want those. So they're right there handy. I had some printed out and I ran out of printer ink and we ran out of some pages. So some people got some creams without application protocols the last couple of days.
But you have them in your dashboard, in your back
Yes,
office.
yes,
Okay.
they are in
Under
your
social media.
dashboard. In the media section, they're all there.
Mhm. Thank you so much, Shelley, for everything you do. Thank you, Daniel. Tell your lovely wife we said thank you as well.
Shelley. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, everybody.
And, y'all have a fantastic Wednesday. But before you go, there's going to be an email coming out and the text going out. But I'm going to tell you while I'm here. There is an emergency call tonight at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. Same place. We are on Zoom.com. And if you want to know what it's about how to get to Pro 5. It's about how to get to Pro 5 and the results of doing so. So come hang out with us tonight at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. We're just giving and giving and giving and giving, just like Daniel says. We're here to serve you. That's what we do. Have a fantastic Wednesday today. See you tonight. Good luck, everybody. God bless.
Bye.